So I've got a blast from the past here with the Chaos Engine. Some of you may remember it as a old school rouge-like, isometric, shootery type deal. I can't really describe it better than that. I've cornered one of the producers here. Please introduce yourself and tell me a bit about the game.
Hi, I'm Stuart Morton. I'm the producer on the Chaos Engine. The Chaos Engine is, well, some people remember it, some people don't, but it's essentially a top-down run-and-gun shooter.
A very old game. I remember playing this when I was younger than I remember.
Yeah, early 90s, in the classic Bitmap Brothers era of games. And we've decided to bring it back, and it's about time that the series came back.
Okay, cool. So tell me a bit about this new version. What can we expect to see that differs from the old school originals on the old Amiga and the Snes?
Well, we tried to keep it as close to the original as we can, because we want to, essentially we're making it for the fans of the original game. So it's very, very similar. We've just added some new tweaks to it. We improved the graphics in a way it doesn't really change the core design very much. We're looking at things like online co-op, leaderboards, all that sort of modern things you expect with a Steam title.
So fans of the original are going to find it true to its original form then, is that fair to say?
Yes, they would hopefully find it exactly how they remember it.
Okay, and what kind of platforms are you hoping to launch this on?
It's going to launch on PC, Mac and Linux to start with, and then we'll look into other platforms once they're out.
Is that independently published, or is that over Steam?
It's published by Mostronic, but yeah, it will be released on Steam.
Okay, so tell me about the online multiplayer. I mean, are we going to see a shared camera like in the originals, or is both player going to have their own separate entity of their own camera?
The online co-op is still work in progress development-wise at the moment. The idea will be to have it as it is in local co-op, so the two players will
share the same space.
Share the same space. If it doesn't work, then there's always scope to think about splitting the screens in some way.
Okay, and is there any plans to maybe add some sort of additional content to it, or is it just the original game as it is, obviously with the multiplayer as well?
No current plans for that. I think with the original game and then adding all the other features, I think we're hoping that will be enough for now, but never say never.
Yeah. All right, so what kind of price point are we going to expect from this then?
I haven't been finalised yet, but you can expect it to be, around the sort of £10 mark, something like that.
Fairly typical for that sort of like retro comeback game then.
Yeah, exactly. It's not going to be a £30.
Are you going to be releasing the original game with it, so you can have the best of both worlds and play the original?
Well, this is essentially the original game, because it's the Amiga source. It's built on the original Amiga source code. So what that is essentially the exact same code. So the differences are only cosmetic ones on the graphics. You can toggle that on and off. So you can, with a quick key press or an option change, you can go back to how the original looks, flip between them as you like. As well as the 16-way control rather than 8 that the original had, you can also turn that on and off as well. So any options that we're adding on top of the other one, we're trying to make sure you can turn them back off to keep the original experience as well. Because it's so close to being the original Amiga code that if you have passwords from back in the day on the Amiga version, they will still work in this version.
Oddly, that was the next question I was going to ask if those codes.
Stop trying to cheat, villain.
We wanted to keep them in because, realistically, not many people are probably going to use them or care or remember them or anything like that. But it's quite nice for people that do remember it and maybe have this code scribbled down and goodness knows where, that actually think, do you know what? Let's give that a go. Oh, it works. And it's a nice feature of the people that remember it.
Well, what other games from that era do you think deserve this kind of remake?
That's an interesting question. One that we have been discussing at length in the office, because we want to look at, providing Chaos Engine does well and stuff like that, we also want to look at other titles in the future.
Oh, so close.
I can't say anything, unfortunately. But if you look back at Bitmap Brothers' collection of the games of that era that haven't been touched since then, there's quite a good selection of games that people remember and love from there. I'm sure if you remember any, you can probably come up with a couple of names yourselves. But
I'm certainly old enough to remember them, so yeah.
So it's something that we are looking at as a project to bring. We're working with Mike Montgomery, the original Bitman Brothers. He's involved in the project. He knows what we're doing. So he has other titles. So we are looking at that in the future, depending on how well Chaos Engine does. We're hoping it's something we can get a nice collection of 3 or 4 original Bitman Brothers games together and out there again, so new people can experience them as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Great stuff. Thanks for joining us today, and hope you have a good time.